We're all looking to you.
Oh, great.
Fearless leader.
It's always very stressful because we never know what to do, and it's always a good chance it's not going to work. It really shouldn't work, the things we get away with. Well, maybe we could preface, has anyone done anything social engineering-wise on the telephone recently? Gotten information they weren't supposed to get? Gotten people to help them out? I mean, if you win somebody's sympathy over, they'll tell you all kinds of bits of information. I was listening to something we did at Beyond Hope, where we called a blockbuster video, and we were just talking to a representative there, and I played the part of an angry husband who had gotten really upset at the fact that he had just come home from a holiday, and there was this late fee waiting for him, and I didn't know who was using the card. I needed to know all the people who were using my card. Well, except the thing is, I don't really know what last name was being used, so I wanted to try this one. All right, it's not that, and we basically just went through all these names, and the poor receptionist, or person at the front desk, was just giving me everybody's information, addresses, names, videos that they were renting, all because I was exasperated, trying to help me out so that I could fix the situation, because I was trying to help them out. I was trying to pay this late fee, which really didn't exist. But it was an indication of how easy it is to get somebody to tell you something they really shouldn't tell you. Another time we called a Starbucks, and we asked them if they were having trouble with their cash register, which of course they were. And we got them to sort of read off the last few transactions because we were afraid it wouldn't go through. And they started reading out credit card numbers. We're pretty we're responsible people here, so we lowered the volume. That didn't get out. We interrupted her. But yeah, people can give out all sorts of information. And you know what? I bet a lot of you give out information you're not supposed to give out. The Social Security number. You probably have given that to the phone company when you don't have to, or anyone else who asks for it. We were thinking of asking for it ourselves and see how many of you fell for that, but we didn't. It's amazing. As social networking, people just give out all this information about themselves, and that's a boon to anybody who wants to find out information they're not supposed to have access to. People put their class schedules online. They have all their favorite likes and dislikes and secret desires and things like that. They post them because they want to share with other people who might feel the same way. But it's really getting all kinds of information out there that added together, it's your life. It's like having a diary, always readable by anybody. How many of you have Facebook accounts on this panel?
I do. All about me.
All right, so we're still all looking to me. Nobody has any other stories?
Well, I have a story that's
Go ahead,
actually
tell the
inspired
story.
by,
I'll make a call, I will. But
by your Starbucks story.
Go ahead.
Another large corporation, I decided to test their security, and I called up one of their stores as a very thankful customer and asked for the manager, and fortunately he was out, so the employee was more than grateful to give me their home address so I can send them a bouquet of flowers to show how grateful I am for their service. So I immediately called up another store in a different town and said, hey, I'm the manager from store A. We're having a lot of problems with our credit card machines. We got a customer here who said he was there yesterday. Can you read off his credit card number? Guess what they did? Read it off in full. Of course, I was nice, and I explained to him exactly what I did and how to stop against it. And they threatened to sue me. So.
All right. Well, no. I mean, I've got an example that everybody from Hope, that's ever been here can appreciate. Back H2K2, when we had the credit card size badges with the little SIM cards on them, I was walking around New York. It's my first Hope conference, first time I'd ever been in New York. Aimlessly walking around, I saw a roped off area, so I started walking up, and there's a security guard kind of sleeping, and he noticed me walk up. He jumped up real quick, like, huh, and he said, oh, okay, you're cool. And he grabbed his badge, and I didn't realize what he was doing, but he was signaling to me that because I had a badge, I could get on the set of Good Morning America to watch the Counting Crows. So that was pretty cool, and that was really, everybody can appreciate the Counting Crows aren't that great, but whatever, free concert, New York City. Yeah. So.
How come none of you told me I forgot to introduce somebody on the panel? Kevin Mitnick is also here. You might have heard of him. I'm sorry, Kevin. He's so polite. He would have sat here the entire hour and not said a word to me. And yeah.
Just thought I was blending in. Hi, everybody. It's great to be back here at Hope. Yeah.
And Kevin will be giving a talk immediately after this social engineering thing happens. But you've had some social engineering experience, I believe, in the past?
Just a little bit. I have one with the central office. It was in Hollywood. This was, I don't know, about 15 years ago. No, about 20 years ago. It was the Hollywood central office in Los Angeles. And a friend of mine, a guy named Stephen Rhodes at the time, was also a phone phreaker, and we decided we wanted to take a self-guided tour of the central office. So it was around 2:30 in the morning on a Saturday, and we had the door codes to all the different offices in Los Angeles, and we just let ourselves in, and we're roaming around the Hollywood CO, and we're about on the 3rd floor, and then all of a sudden, this big guy, security guard, approaches us and goes, "Excuse me." "Yeah? Do you have any ID?" And I go, "Sure, one moment." And I go into my pocket, and I said, "Oh, I must have left my ID in the car. I'll go get it. I'll be right back." He goes, "No." He goes, "Who's this guy?" And I go, "Oh, he's just a friend of mine, and I want to take him on a tour. He's never seen a central office." He goes, "At 2:30 in the morning?" I said, "Yeah, we just got out of a movie, and my friend has always wanted to work for the phone company. And so I figured I'd just take him on a quick tour." And he goes, "Well, where do you work?" I said, "Well, I work in the Cosmos Center in San Diego." He goes, "Who's your supervisor?" And I told him the name of the supervisor. Incidentally, it was the correct name of the person in the San Diego Cosmos Center. And he goes, "No, you guys have to come with us." So he escorts us to the elevator, and I know on the 9th floor is the switching control center, and that's where there's people up there because that office is manned. So you end up getting escorted up to the 9th floor, and there's about 5 or 6 people around, and the security guard's telling them the story. "I found these 2 guys roaming around our building. This guy doesn't have ID. Let's find out what's going on." So one of the other supervisors, not a security guard, he goes, "What's your supervisor's name?" And I gave it to him. I said, "Well, listen, you can't wake her up. Because, look, it's 2:30 in the morning. If you want, I'll go to my car, we'll go get my ID, and I'll be right back." Of course, I had no plans of coming back. So he says, "No, we're calling your supervisor." So he picks up a book, some sort of intercompany directory, and I'm thinking, well, they don't list home telephone numbers in there. But apparently he had found some sort of notes or whatever listing the supervisor's home phone number. So he calls the supervisor, 2:30 in the morning, Saturday. He goes, "Listen, I found one of your employees, Steve, roaming around one of our offices. And he says he works for you." "Uh-huh. Oh, you want to talk to him?" "Sure." So he hands me the phone, and I go, "Hey, Sally, how are you? I'm really sorry that you were woken up, and I normally would never take a friend on a tour of a central office." And as I'm speaking, she's saying, "Who are you? Who are you?" And I'm going, "Yeah, and by the way, Tuesday, we still have that meeting for that report, correct?" And she goes, "Who are you? Who are you?" But I'm pressing the phone to my ear, so the other people in the room can't hear what she's saying. He's only listening to my side of the conversation. And I'm like having a calm conversation with her, and I said, "Listen, okay, I'm just going to take my friend around for about 15 more minutes, and we'll leave, and I'll see you on Tuesday." And I went over, and I walked about 2 steps, and I hung up the phone. And I go, "Are you satisfied?"